then you can certainly get right into the psyche then. And,
course,
the one below the ribs, which is the real point.
Of course,
And it's like, so tickle and thrust is there,
So that's what you
could
basically...
be
That's what you're basically
name
trying
of
to...
the album.
That's what you're trying to do then with your songs, isn't it? Is really sort of grab the people's imagination and take them on a little bit of a journey with you.
Yeah, and if you can make them laugh, it disarms them. It's quite disarming, isn't it?
It's very true, yeah. And else you start talking about war veterans, not war veterans, is it war veterans? They all take you outside and want to kill you.
Well, but again, as I say, that's good. That's good. It's better than being like, who's he?
Yeah.
Okay. It's nice to have an effect of some sort, I suppose. You
haven't snapped another string, have you?
Do you know? Yeah, I've stuck me G.
Have you?
Yeah.
God, he's having a bad night here tonight.
It's just, well, it's you know what? It was the fickle finger of fate from the beginning, because people pulling out and all that, and it's like, I only wandered in and out of the internet. I'm not on a permanent, it's not like a permanent fixture. It's quite the opposite. And,
so it's just a spot of luck there,
was it?
And
it really was. So I was just like, well, fired that one out there. So, I was considered this like, well, this is good. It's like the fickle finger of fate.
Yeah.
But then fickle finger of fate sometimes works two ways.
It was great when you said you were coming on. Like, I was made
Have you got a guitar I can borrow?
I'm right-handed. Sorry, I'm left-handed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you want me to throw some news on and we'll get it sorted?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that. All right, guys. Unfortunately, the Huyton Minstrel has had the second string on his guitar snap. We're going to put it down to fate. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to give you a bit of news and we'll be back with you in a moment.
Labour has accused ministers of planning to make damaging cuts to the UK border force that could weaken the country's security. The Shadow Home Secretary Andy Burnham has warned that further savings would amount to a very serious mistake, especially after the suicide attacks in Brussels, which claimed more than 30 lives. The Home Office said extra money for Britain's border guards had been promised in this month's budget. Here's our political correspondent, Chris Mason.
Andy Burnham said that staff within the border force have told him that they've been briefed to expect cuts of 6% in the next financial year and the one after that. This is the worst possible time to cut the UK border, Mr Burnham said. The Home Office told the BBC that the force's planned budget for the next 2 years was still being finalised, but a spokesman said the government had invested tens of millions of pounds to bolster security at ports in northern France and would take all the necessary measures to maintain the security of the UK's borders.
David Cameron has urged people to help defeat what he called the pernicious ideology fueling terrorism by standing up for British values and for the British way of life. In his Easter message, the Prime Minister described Britain as a Christian country, but he said its values spoke to everyone in the UK, to people of every faith and none. In his Easter sermon, the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, is expected to reflect on the shadow cast by the bombings in Brussels. He will tell worshippers that fear is a normal human reaction, but that the message of Easter is that hope can overcome fear. Pope Francis will deliver his traditional Easter message at the Vatican this morning amid tight security. St. Peter's Basilica was packed with worshippers for the first Mass of Easter last night, as David Willey reports from Rome.
Thousands of candles lit up the Basilica to mark the most important night in the Christian calendar. The ceremony began in darkness. Gradually, the whole of St. Peter's was bathed in light, symbolising the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Pope Francis preached a message of hope. Let us not allow darkness and fear to distract and control us, he said. Later in the day, Pope Francis will deliver his traditional Easter message to the city of Rome and to the world. He's expected to refer to the increase in terrorist violence, not only in Europe, but also in the Middle East and Africa.
A young girl has died after the bouncy castle she was playing on blew away. 2 people have been arrested on suspicion of manslaughter by gross negligence, following the incident in Harlow in Essex. The leaders of the 4 main political groups in the Local Government Association have urged ministers to reconsider plans to compel all schools in England to become academies. In a letter in The Observer, they said the task of overseeing schools shouldn't be handed to what they described as unelected and remote civil servants. The Department for Education said that thanks to academies, a record number of children were now in good or outstanding schools. An influential committee of MPs has urged the government to write to people who won't receive the full amount of the new flat-rate state pension, which is being launched next month. It said there had been a failure of communication over the new payment. The government says it's committed to ensuring the public understands the changes. Simon Gompertz reports.
The prospect of a pension of £155.65 a week has been dangled in front of everyone reaching pension age from the 6th of April. It obviously looks good compared with the old-style basic pension, which continues, for those already retired, at just over £119. But in the first year, the majority will get less than £155, and only 13% will get the exact amount. Frank Field, who chairs the Work and Pension Select Committee, says the process of informing people has been a muddle. He wants the government to write to the worst affected, including a group, mostly women, who may get nothing because they haven't paid enough national insurance or they're relying on their husband's contributions.
The government is to invest £300 million in a project to encourage more people in England to cycle and walk. Ministers want to double the number of people who use bikes by 2025. But Roger Jeffin of the cycling charity CTC says the plans don't go far enough.
Righty. So far, it's been a string per song. Can we go for the third string on the third song? We've just had a little message there also from Carl Murphy for you there, mate. Tell Carl he's sounding boss, and sorry he couldn't make it on Friday. It was a mad night.
No worries. Thank you, Carl. Nice one for lads here. I'm glad it's sounding good. Can you hear me strings snapping? No, was
We've had a few nice comments tonight.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Nice
good.
People out
I
there.
like when people interact. It's good.
Yeah, that's what it's about, to be honest,
yeah,
isn't
big
it?
time. Right, so song 3, what are we going to do, Carl?
Well, song 3, I'd like to do Truth Now Lies, which is this is an early song, and it's meant a lot to me, this subject, and it's like it gets held up and it gets misunderstood by a lot of people, and people who support Palestine get castigated and stuff like that, and writ off as being anti-Semitic. It's like, right is right and wrong is wrong at the end of the day. But I've always felt a little thing about the Palestinians. Like, so this is an old song, and it's just as relevant now as it's ever been. And Truth Now Lies.
After you, Lau.
Well, I'd like to write a protest song, and I don't want you to sing along, 'cause I'm not claiming to be right or wrong, but it's just my point of view. And if you happen to turn away offended by the things I say, then free speech has had its day, at least it has for you. 'Cause I swear to God I cannot believe my eyes. How lies are now truth now lies. For there's a land of sun-bleached bones of children who've been throwing stones at the tanks sent by the Yanks, driven by the Jew. Enslaved in their own land, it was Jehovah's gift, you understand. With no weapon in the hand, what's a man to do? 'Cause I swear to God I cannot believe my eyes. How lies are now truth now lies. So by 1949 we'd wiped the map of Palestine, and hey, no one really seemed to mind at the time. So why the fuck are you now surprised when they strap on bells to suicide? 72 virgin brides waiting in the sky. I swear to God I cannot believe my eyes. Our lies are now truth, truth now lies. Terrorists, too many turns, too many twists, from nuclear arms right down to the fists, always fighting blind. But I guess the pen has killed more men, and it will again, again, again. Is it always gonna be this way till the end of time? Oh, I swear to God I cannot believe my eyes. Our lies are now truth, truth now lies. Who'd you say is the biggest threat? Is it the East? Is it the West? Think that both would fail the test. At least that's how I see. For it seems that man can only hate its DNA, its human trait. Already I'd say it's too late. What will be, will be. Don't have to wait and see. Yes, what will be, will be. Don't have to wait and see. What will be, will be. Don't have to wait and see.
Superb, mate, superb.
Thank you.
Tell you what, it's one of them moments tonight where, you know, sometimes you get some greats coming in. At Class U is one of the greats that we've had on. I really do. Just watching you, it's pretty memorising. Very, very, very deep, some of the lyrics as well, aren't they? You know, I was like, wow. And I sort of get a bit lost in it. And I get a little bit lost in it, and I look up, and Carl's sort of like that, big smile on his face. I'm like, whoa. So I can see how that would go down really well in the public domain. I mean, if I was in the pub at the bar and I was having a beer and I seen a guy doing that over in the corner, I'd be like, shut up and listen to him. Actually, he's good in. You know what I mean?
I do get that reaction.
Yeah.
You know, as I say, the reactions have been, but even from the very beginning, Doug, you know, people sensed, well, you've got something, you know. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, look, I don't want to be coming across like, oh, I've got something. Yeah. Because people know me. I'm a painter and decorator. I don't pretend to be anything else. Do you understand?
Of course
really?
I do, yeah.
And it's like, I just love getting out there and I love the music and that. But it's like, but I know I've got something okay, you know, going.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I've learned something about performance that a lot of people, they should take a leaf out the book, you know. It's like, because I'm not going to be performing for that much longer. You know, it's like I'm getting old and tired anyway. I don't get out much, you know what I mean? It's terrible.
The song at the end, the way you put that together with all the ooh-ahs, and you know, obviously you can't see it. Actually, you will see it because I'll probably put that one on the video now. But he's having a proper little dance along, you know, and he's proper getting into it, like jigging about, and it was you could see the passion going through you know.
But again, that's what I was on about projection. It's like, you know, honestly, the best tip I could give to musicians is like, do the shit that you do when you're alone in your room.
Yeah.
You know, do that on stage and see how liberating it is. Because people see you're free enough to do it and you don't give a shite about appearance, because we're obsessed with appearance and we're obsessed with the brand we're trying to sell, because everyone's a brand now. You know what I'm saying? This is the brand I belong to, and that's why they all look the fucking same. You know. But again, it's like, just be free enough to do that. And it's like, when you don't care and you play with abandon,